Hi, welcome to this session. In this session, we're talking about the silent storm, recognizing stress, anxiety, and what is beneath the surface. Stay tuned as we progress on this particular topic. The silent storm. Just in case you're seeing this video for the first time, there's an introductory video to this, and there is all the topics that you can see on your screen are being handled in this series. And so right now we have handled the marks and we are in the second topic. So if you have not watched the marks, please go back and watch that. Although each topic is kind of independent, but everything kind of rests on each other, to give the entire playlist the flavor. All right. Thank you. Let's proceed. Okay. So the silent storm. That's what we're talking about. And when we hear the word storm, we imagine thunder, lightning, strong winds, chaos. Nothing really silent about that. Nothing really peaceful about that. And that is the metaphor there. When you are trying to give a physical attribute to non living things, like the storm, storms are usually loud, you know. But I can tell you today for a fact that some storms are silent. It's not the regular storm that you see out there. These are the storms that go on within the human body. All right. That is why you see somebody that has been sleeping since morning, but they wake up and their blood pressure is high because probably had a bad dream or they are worried about something serious. And so it's still affecting them within, even if they are not doing any strenuous activity that can increase the heart rate. You get the point. Good. Let's go. So, storms are usually loud, but some storms are silent. There are men who show up to work every day. They laugh with friends, they post on the social media, they attend church, fulfill responsibility, yet inside they are struggling. Not every storm makes noise. Some happen entirely within a person's mind. This is the foundation of this conversation. And in this conversation, we're going to handle 3 points. The first point is that not every battle is visible. You need to understand that so that when you are trying to help a man around you or help a young male teenager or help a young adult male or help a child, a boy child, you need to understand that not every battle is visible. It means that you can be looking at somebody and they're looking good. That doesn't mean that all is well within. One mistake we make is that we are always assuming that if a man looks okay, he must be okay, but mental and emotional struggles don't always have visible signs. I just need you to understand that a man can be carrying anxiety about the future, financial pressure, family responsibilities, fear of failure, deep disappointment, and still appear perfectly normal. You won't even see it. Remember, I said that men have been trained that way from birth. So we are now masters of these guys. I don't want to drag this towards the relationship angle, but men are now masters of these guys. A man can be planning to do something really crazy and still be laughing and smiling like nothing is about to happen. Many men become experts at functioning while hurting, and that's the big problem. So, like a small crack in the wall, it becomes bigger over time. This pressure we're talking about grows quietly. The storm we're talking about, it grows quietly until one day it can no longer be hidden. All right. The second point I want to make is that stress is not a badge of honor. People say, as a man, when you go to bed, you should collapse into your bed at night, knowing fully well that you have done all you can do in a particular day. You have exhausted all your energy for that day. Put in your very best. While these are advices that are intended to make you to force yourself to bring out the best out of yourself, it can be counterproductive at times because people start bragging about being busy. People start celebrating being overwhelmed. We wear stress like a medal. but constantly running on empty. This isn't strength at all. It's dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. Because think about it. Your phone needs charging. Your car needs maintenance. That is the same way your body and your mind need care. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The people that you are trying so much to make sure that they have a good life, I'm not saying that that's bad, but the people that you're trying to make sure that they have a good life, one of the ways you can ensure that you can continue to help them is by taking care of yourself. I'm telling you, if you're not alive, you can't help them anymore. So one of the ways you can take care of them is by making sure that you are okay. One of the ways you can take care of them is by taking care of yourself. It doesn't make sense, right? Right? Just listen to it carefully. One of the ways you can take care of the people that you really want to take care of is by making sure that you are there to take care of them. Do you understand? The third point I want to make is that you should learn to recognize the signs. Now, this is for men, and this is for the people who intend to help men: wives, girlfriends, spouses, sisters, mothers. Look out for these signs. Men also, look out for these signs. Number one, irritability. Any small thing is annoying him. People are cracking jokes. On this your head, it's like you will soon be about. What do you mean by that? Hey, something may be going on. Especially if that's not the person's normal behavior. Something may be going on. Anger, constant fatigue. He's always tired. He's always tired. Always tired. Something may be going on, especially if it's not a health condition. Something may be going on. Something is stressing them out. Have you noticed that if you sit down in a class for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, you go home and you're tired, right? Follow me. The reason why you go home and you're tired is because although you didn't do anything that was physically exhausting, your brain was still drawing energy from your body. And your brain was drawing energy from your body because you were thinking, you were participating in class, you were doing everything needed for a student. And so even if you are not physically doing press up or raising dumbbells, these things still drain you the same way. That's the same way if you finish eating one bowl of eba and you sit down under a tree and you are thinking about all your life problems, you will still be tired because the same energy you're using to think is similar to the one that you're using to do workout. All right. Withdrawal from people is another sign. I just want some time alone. And that some time alone has stretched into an extended period. That could be a sign. Withdrawal, loss of motivation. When you see a man saying, waiting even did this life, all this hustle, where would they hustle? Waiting really did this life. That could be an indicator that you should look out for. Don't just ignore it. Don't say it as it's your dad self is just being too difficult, or he doesn't want everybody come out from there. Let him don't disturb me or allow him to be on his own. That's not the time. All right. Difficulty sleeping, difficulty concentrating. Please look out for these signs. All right. Because many men think that they are just tired, but or it's just a bad week. But sometimes that's a signal that something deeper needs attention. So pay attention to your mind and body. All right. Pay attention. And of course, like I said in the last video, every session has a personal reflection. So let's look at the personal reflection for this session. Now, the personal reflection for this session, let's read it along. Let's read it together. One thing I've realized about life is that it doesn't stop handing out responsibilities. As men, there is always something demanding our attention. Work, family, money, goals, ministry, community, the list is inexhaustible. It never ends. All right. But if we are always focused on carrying the load, we may never notice when the load is becoming too heavy. And that's where silent storms becomes dangerous. That's where it becomes very dangerous. And so Please pay attention. I'm saying this. Pay attention to the men around you. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to yourself. Now, of course, I'm going to challenge you this week, and this is a challenge that you need to, you know, you need to take on yourself. Number one, ask yourself this question: am I resting enough? Am I resting enough? And of course, also ask yourself, am I carrying the stress that I haven't acknowledged yet? Like, sometimes you're stressed, but you don't want to agree that you are stressed. You know, you want to show everybody that, no, 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 I can handle it. I'm the man of this house. Next, when last did I have an honest conversation about how I am feeling? When last did you actually talk to somebody about exactly how you're feeling? Number four, am I taking care of myself the same way I take care of my responsibilities? When the people around you have a problem, the way you address it, is that the way you address the problems when they come to you? As men, we tend to want to solve every other person's problem and then put ourselves last. There's this funny saying that people say. They said, when you look at, I don't want to call any tribe, but when you look at some men, you will not know that they have money. It's when you look at their wife that you will know how rich the man is. That sounds very romantic, but that is also a problem. It sounds very romantic, but it is a problem in itself. It means that you are not paying enough attention to yourself. You also deserve good things. I'm telling you, you also deserve good things. You need awareness. I'm going to close this way. Not every storm can be seen. Not every struggle is obvious. And not every strong man is doing okay. Pay attention to the silent storms, both in your life and in the life of the men around you. And I will end this way. Strong men don't ignore the storm. They learn how to navigate it. Remember, the topic we had today is silent storm. All right. The topic we had today is silent storm, recognizing stress, anxiety, and what is really beneath the surface. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next session. Please stay tuned as we have a lot of, we go all the way from 1 to 10. So this is 2/10, and we have 8 more sessions to go. Stay with me, please.